Welcome to your deep dive. Today, we're going to be dissecting RH's Q3 2024 earnings call transcript.
RH.
Yeah, for those unfamiliar, RH is the luxury home furnishings company,
Oh, okay.
formerly known as Restoration Hardware.
Right, yeah.
And their CEO, Gary Friedman,
Okay.
had some pretty interesting things to say
I bet.
about their strategy in this crazy housing market we've been in.
Yeah, it's a fascinating case study for sure.
Yeah.
We'll be exploring how they're not just surviving this whole housing market thing, but actually thriving
Yeah.
through this combination of product transformation, strategic investments, and a very specific vision of what the luxury market wants these days.
You hear luxury furniture and housing slump in the same sentence.
Yeah.
And you'd think things would be kind of rough, right?
I'd think, yeah.
But Friedman really seems to see this as an opportunity to do some interesting things.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So let's dive into some of the key takeaways.
Yeah, let's get into it.
So the first thing that really struck me
Okay.
is this. RH is defying the housing market downturn.
Really?
Their demand is up 13% for Q3
Wow.
and a whopping 18% in November.
That's impressive, especially considering everything that's going on.
It's like they're in a completely different world than everyone else.
Yeah, what's their secret sauce?
So Friedman attributes this success to a few things.
Yeah.
He emphasizes their strategic decision to invest heavily in what he calls product transformation
Okay.
and brand elevation,
Okay, I like that.
while their competitors are, in his words, hunkering down.
Oh, so while everybody else is playing it safe,
Right.
they're going on the offensive.
Exactly.
That's pretty gutsy.
In this economic climate, it really is.
Especially now, yeah.
But it seems to be working.
Well, clear.
Take the launch of their RH Modern Sourcebook.
Okay.
That single launch drove a 24% increase in demand
Really?
for that brand just in November alone.
Wow, so it's really paying off.
Yeah, they're navigating the market downturn incredibly well.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets really interesting,
Okay.
at least for me.
Right.
Friedman doesn't just want RH to be a brand.
Okay.
He wants it to be a platform for taste.
A platform for taste. What does that even mean?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
That's pretty broad.
What exactly does that even mean?
It's bold, that's for sure.
It is.
He's talking about building a whole ecosystem encompassing different aesthetics, life stages, different types of homes. It's not just about selling a particular style.
I see.
It's about curating a lifestyle.
Right.
All centered around this idea of elevated taste.
So almost like the Apple of home furnishings, as some have said.
Precisely.
Curating not just products, but an experience, an entire aesthetic.
Yeah, if they can pull it off,
Right.
they could radically change their market reach.
And impact.
And impact, for sure.
Instead of just selling furniture,
Yeah.
they're selling a whole philosophy of living. Now, here's a curveball for you.
Okay.
In the age of online, everything,
Right.
RH is actually doubling down on physical retail spaces.
Interesting.
These immersive experiential galleries,
Okay.
as Friedman calls them, seem almost counterintuitive in today's world.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But he believes these galleries are absolutely crucial for building a luxury brand experience.
Okay.
He argues that you just can't replicate that kind of sensory experience online.
Interesting.
That physical, tactile experience is paramount for these luxury brands.
It's about more than just buying a couch. It's about stepping into this curated world of exclusivity and aspiration.
They want to create a destination.
Yeah.
A place where you can fully immerse yourself in the RH aesthetic.
Okay.
Their new gallery in Newport Beach is a prime example of this.
Oh, yeah.
It's replacing 3 of their older stores.
Wow.
It boasts a rooftop restaurant with ocean views.
Wow, that's pretty nice.
Wine bars, an expansive outdoor furniture collection.
Oh, wow.
It's designed to be an experience.
Right.
Not just a store.
Yeah, talk about making a statement.
They're not messing around.
It sounds incredible.
It really does.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit
Okay.
and talk global strategy.
All right.
Friedman dropped some hints about some pretty big changes
Okay.
coming to their sourcing.
All right.
Specifically, they're pulling out of China entirely
Wow, really?
and potentially rethinking their operations in Mexico.
What's driving those decisions?
Well, Friedman mentioned the potential for increased tariffs
Oh, I see.
in 2025 as a major factor.
That makes sense.
But it seems like they've been preparing for this shift for a while now.
So they're not just reacting to the political climate.
Right.
They're proactively shaping their future.
Exactly.
That's smart.
It really highlights the importance of supply chain flexibility.
It really does, especially these days.
Yeah, in today's world,
The world's a crazy place right now.
they're not afraid to make bold moves
Yeah.
to protect their margins and ensure long-term growth,
Right.
even if it means upending their current operations.
That takes guts.
It does.
Which brings us to another interesting tidbit.
Okay.
Friedman shared
All right.
a potential product development supercycle.
A product development supercycle.
That's what he called it.
What does that even mean?
And that's what I was wondering.
Is it just marketing hype?
It's more than just hype.
Okay.
It seems like a core part of their strategy.
All right.
He described it as being fueled by data and insights gathered from all these recent transformations.
So they're not just playing catch up with trends.
Right.
They're trying to anticipate and even create the next big thing
They're driving innovation.
in the home furnishing space.
It's a bold move.
What kind of new products are we talking about here?
He mentioned multiple new collections and brand extensions are in the works,
Interesting.
including one that he believes could be a billion-dollar idea.
Wow, $1 billion idea.
Now, he was pretty tight-lipped
Yeah. Okay.
about the specifics,
Right.
but he did reveal one exciting development.
Okay, what's that?
The launch of RH Couture Pulse Tree by Dimitri Enco in 2025.
RH Couture Upholstery.
By Dimitri Enco.
Now that's intriguing.
It is, right.
What's so special about this line?
Well, it's an ultra high-end brand
Okay.
that until now was only available to the trade market, meaning interior designers alike.
Oh, okay.
Now they're bringing that level of exclusivity and craftsmanship to the RH platform.
So we've got a company defying the housing slump,
It's pretty amazing.
aiming to be more than just a brand.
Yeah.
And shaking up their global sourcing and product development strategies.
It's really interesting stuff.
That's a lot to unpack.
It is, yeah.
What do you make of it all so far?
What's clear to me is this
Right.
RH is playing a long game here. They're willing to take these calculated risks,
Yeah.
invest heavily in their vision, and make bold moves that most companies wouldn't even consider.
It's almost like they're trying to redefine
Yeah,
what luxury even means
I think so.
in the home furnishings market.
Absolutely. Picking up where we left off,
Okay.
let's dive a bit deeper into this whole concept of RH
Okay.
as a platform for taste.
Yeah. I'm still trying to wrap my head around what that actually looks like in practice.
Yeah.
It sounds lofty, but how do they actually make it happen?
Well, it's a multifaceted approach.
Yeah.
First, you have the product diversification we talked about earlier.
Right.
They're not just offering one style of furniture.
Right.
They're curating a range of aesthetics to appeal to different tastes and lifestyles.
I see.
Think of their RH Modern line, for example.
Okay.
It caters to a completely different customer
Right.
than their core RH brand.
Uh-huh.
But it still fits within that overall umbrella of elevated taste.
So they're expanding their reach without diluting their core brand identity.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
smart. And then you have the physical galleries,
Right.
which play a huge role in bringing this platform concept to life.
Okay.
They're creating these immersive environments
Yeah.
where people can experience the RH aesthetic firsthand,
Right.
not just browse products.
It's about creating a world,
yeah,
a feeling,
yeah, exactly.
not just a shopping trip.
Precisely.
And it goes beyond just the design of the spaces themselves.
Right.
They're also incorporating elements of hospitality,
Uh-huh.
like those rooftop restaurants and wine bars.
To further enhance the experience.
Right. It's about creating a destination,
Yeah.
a place where people want to linger
Right.
and soak it all in.
That's the idea.
And then, of course, you have their strategic sourcing
Right.
and product development initiatives. They're constantly innovating,
Right.
seeking out the best materials and craftsmanship,
Mm-hmm.
and pushing the boundaries of design.
For sure.
So it's this combination
Yeah.
of product, experience, and innovation. That all feeds into this platform for taste idea.
It all comes together.
Right.
It's a holistic approach, and it's what sets them apart from their competitors.
Speaking of competitors, let's go back to their decision to exit China.
Okay.
How do you think this will impact their competitive landscape?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a risky move or a strategic advantage?
Well, it's definitely a bold move,
Okay.
and it carries inherent risks. There's the potential for supply chain disruptions,
Right.
increased costs,
Yeah.
and logistical challenges
Right.
associated with shifting their sourcing elsewhere.
And they're doing this at a time
Yeah.
when many companies
Right.
are actually trying to strengthen their presence in China.
That's true.
It seems counterintuitive.
But I think RH is taking a longer-term view here.
Okay.
They're anticipating potential challenges down the road,
Okay.
like rising tariffs,
Right.
geopolitical instability,
Uh-huh.
and they're making proactive moves to mitigate those risks.
So they're prioritizing control and stability
Yeah,
over short-term gains,
exactly.
which makes sense in the long run.
And it allows them to differentiate themselves
Right.
from competitors who are more heavily reliant on Chinese manufacturing.
Okay.
They can position themselves as a brand
Right.
that prioritizes quality, craftsmanship,
Yeah.
and ethical sourcing.
It's a gamble,
It is.
but it could pay off handsomely if they can execute it effectively.
No doubt.
And it's important to note,
Yeah.
they're not just pulling out of China.
Right.
They're actively exploring alternative sourcing options.
Mm-hmm.
They mentioned potential renegotiations with Mexico,
I see.
and they're likely exploring other regions as well.
Makes sense.
So it's about diversifying their supply chain
Yeah.
and ensuring they have multiple options.
Right. They're not putting all their eggs in one basket.
Speaking of diversifying,
Hmm.
let's talk about their product development supercycle.
Okay.
Friedman seemed particularly excited about this.
Yeah, he did.
What makes this wave of innovation so significant?
Well, it signifies a shift
Yeah.
from reactive
Yeah.
to proactive innovation.
I see.
They're not just responding to trends. They're
Right.
trying to anticipate
Uh-huh.
and even shape the future of the home furnishings market.
So they're aiming to be trendsetters,
Yeah.
not trend followers.
Exactly.
And they're leveraging data and insights
Mm-hmm.
gathered from their recent transformations,
Right.
like their expansion into different aesthetics
Uh-huh.
and their focus on experiential retail.
To inform their product development.
So it's a data-driven approach to innovation.
To a certain extent, yes.
Okay.
But it also seems to be driven
Right.
by Friedman's personal vision
Right.
and his intuition about where the market is heading.
That makes sense.
Remember he mentioned a potential billion-dollar idea
He did.
that he's particularly excited about?
But he was awfully secretive about the details.
He didn't want to give away too much.
What do you think it could be?
It's hard to say for sure.
Yeah.
But based on their recent moves
Okay.
and their overall strategy,
Yeah.
I'd speculate that it involves something that further enhances
Okay.
their platform for case concept.
Okay.
Perhaps it's a new product category, a revolutionary new design approach,
Right.
or even a technology-driven innovation
Okay.
that enhances the home experience.
It's fascinating to think about.
It is.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they come up with.
But it definitely adds another layer of intrigue
For sure.
to their story.
Absolutely.
Now, we've talked a lot about their vision, their strategies,
Yeah.
and their bold moves.
Right.
But let's get back to the listener.
Okay.
What does this all mean for someone
Yeah, good question.
who's interested in RH?
Right.
Maybe even considering investing in the company?
That's a big decision.
Yeah.
Well, I think it paints a picture of a company
Okay.
that's not afraid to think differently, to challenge conventional wisdom,
Yeah.
and to take calculated risks.
They're not just trying to keep up with the market.
Right.
They're trying to redefine it.
They want to be the leaders.
It's a high-risk, high-reward approach.
It is, for sure.
That's for sure.
And it's important to consider
Yeah.
your own risk tolerance
Of course.
and investment goals
Right.
when evaluating RH.
Right.
They're a company in transition,
Yeah.
and their success hinges on their ability to execute
Yeah.
this ambitious vision.
So it's not for the faint of heart.
Not necessarily,
Okay.
but for those who believe in their vision
Right.
and their ability to deliver,
Yeah.
it could be an exciting opportunity.
It really could.
And let's not forget, they're
Mhm.
already showing signs of success.
Right.
They're defying the housing slump,
Mhm.
expanding their market reach,
Right.
and innovating at a rapid pace.
They're doing a lot of things right.
They are.
Now, one of the things that struck me
Okay.
about Friedman's comments
Yeah.
was his disinterest in social media.
Oh, interesting.
He specifically mentioned
Okay.
that they're not going to be on Instagram
Right.
or paying influencers on TikTok.
Interesting approach.
Why do you think they're taking this approach?
Well, I think it speaks to their desire
Okay.
to control their brand narrative
Okay.
and to cultivate a sense of exclusivity.
I
They're
see.
not chasing trends or
Right.
trying to appeal to the masses.
Right.
They're building a brand
Right.
for a discerning customer
Uh-huh.
who values quality, craftsmanship,
Right.
and a timeless aesthetic.
It's about creating a sense of aspiration,
Exactly.
a feeling that you're in the know,
Huh.
that you've discovered something special.
Right.
And it plays into their overall strategy
Yeah.
of creating a world a platform
Right.
that people want to be a part of.
They're building a community.
They're not just selling products.
Right.
They're selling a lifestyle, a feeling.
Exactly.
And they're doing it on their own terms.
That's the key.
Now let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about their financial strategy.
Right.
Friedman mentioned a currency swap
Okay.
that they're using to buy back their own stock.
Interesting.
Can you explain what that means and why they're doing it?
A currency swap in this context
Okay.
is essentially a way for
Yeah.
RH to borrow money in one currency,
Okay.
say euros,
Right.
and then swap it for another currency,
Okay.
like US dollars.
Okay.
They can then use those dollars
Okay.
to buy back their own stock.
I see. Why would they want to do that?
Well, they believe their stock is undervalued, meaning they think it's worth more
Okay.
than the current market price
Right.
by buying back their own stock.
Okay.
They reduce the number of shares outstanding,
Okay.
which can potentially drive up the price per share.
So it's a way to increase the value of their stock.
Yeah.
And potentially benefit their shareholders.
Exactly.
It's a bold move.
It is.
Especially in a time when many companies are trying to reduce their debt.
That's true.
But it aligns with their overall strategy
Right.
of investing for the future, even when it might seem counterintuitive in the short term.
You're thinking long term.
Right.
They're willing to take calculated risks
Right.
if they believe it will benefit them in the long run.
So they're playing the long game,
They are.
making bold moves
Uh-huh.
and betting big on their vision.
That's right.
The question is, will it work?
That remains to be seen.
It does. It really does.
But what's clear is that RH is thinking differently.
Hmm.
They're not content with the status quo,
Right.
and they're not afraid to challenge conventional wisdom.
It's refreshing to see a company like that.
It is.
That's not afraid to be different, to forge its own path.
Absolutely.
And it's definitely a company worth
I
watching.
think so too.
All right, so let's wrap up our deep dive into RH
Okay.
and distill some key takeaways.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah.
For our listeners.
It's been a fascinating journey
It really has.
through their strategies.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to unpack here.
If I had to sum it up in one phrase,
Okay.
I'd say RH is boldly defying expectations.
Yeah.
They're thriving in a market where others are struggling.
Yeah, it's true.
And they're doing it by charting their own course.
They're not playing by the rules.
Yeah, exactly.
They're making their own rules.
They're not just reacting to industry trends or economic headwinds.
Right.
They're proactively shaping their own destiny.
They're in control.
It's pretty impressive.
It is.
And they're not afraid to make big bets.
Right.
Like pulling out of China
Yeah.
or investing in these extravagant physical galleries.
Yeah, when the world is moving online.
Exactly.
It's kind of crazy.
It is a calculated risk, for sure.
It is.
But it all ties back to their vision
Right.
of becoming a platform for taste,
Yeah.
a curator of an aspirational lifestyle.
And to achieve that, they're willing to zig when others zag.
And then that's what makes their story so compelling.
Right.
They're
Definitely.
not following the playbook.
Yeah,
They're writing their own.
They're the authors of their own success.
So what are some of the key insights we can glean from RH's approach?
Well, I think one of the biggest takeaways is the power of a clear, compelling vision.
I think that's a good one.
RH isn't just selling furniture, they're selling a lifestyle,
Right.
an idea, a feeling.
Yeah, and that resonates with people,
It does.
especially in the luxury market.
Especially in the luxury market, yeah.
It's not just about the product.
Yeah.
It's about the story,
Yeah.
the experience.
The aspiration it embodies.
Exactly. And another key takeaway
Right.
is the importance of calculated risk-taking.
Yeah, I like that one.
RH isn't just playing it safe.
Right.
They're making bold moves.
Yeah.
Like their China exit and their currency swap strategy.
That could potentially pay off big.
It's a high-risk, high-reward approach.
It is.
And it's not for everyone,
No, definitely not.
but it demonstrates their commitment
Yes.
to long-term growth and their belief in their own vision.
They're all in.
They are. And let's not forget their focus on innovation.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They're not just keeping up with trends.
Right.
They're actively trying to anticipate and shape the future
Yeah, they're ahead of the curve.
of the home furnishings industry.
Their product development super cycle
Right.
is a testament to that.
Exactly.
They're leveraging data, insights,
Yeah.
and good old-fashioned intuition
I like that.
to create products
Yeah.
that push the boundaries of design and functionality.
And that's something that any business, regardless of industry,
Absolutely.
can learn from.
Yeah.
It's about staying ahead of the curve,
Uh-huh.
challenging the status quo,
Yeah.
and constantly seeking new ways to
Right.
delight your customers.
It's all about the customer.
So what's the final verdict on RH?
That's a good question.
Are they a success story, a cautionary tale, or something in between?
I think it's too early to say for sure.
Yeah.
Only time will tell if their gamble pays off.
Yeah. But one thing's for certain,
Okay.
they're a fascinating case study
Mm-hmm.
in how a company can disrupt an industry and redefine a market.
They're really shaking things up.
They are. They're challenging our assumptions about what a luxury brand can be,
Right.
how it should operate,
Right.
and how it should engage with its customers.
But how it should engage with its customers. Yeah.
They're a company that's not afraid to be different.
And that's what makes them so interesting.
And that's something we can all appreciate.
Absolutely. So for our listeners,
Yeah.
the key question is this.
Okay.
What lessons can you apply from RH's approach
Right.
to your own business or career?
Yeah. How can you leverage their insights
Uh-huh.
to think differently
To take calculated risks.
and achieve your own ambitious goals?
Food for thought.
It is. And we hope this deal is giving you the knowledge
Yeah.
and inspiration to do just that.
We hope you enjoyed it.
It's been a pleasure exploring RH's journey with you.
Likewise, thanks for having me.
And to our listeners, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
See you next time.
We'll be back soon with another fascinating exploration of the business world.